Battle of Northampton, the untold rebellions of Northamptonshire. What do cannons, sheep, secret weddings, and a man with green cheese in his pocket have in common? Welcome to Northamptonshire, where history didn't just happen, it exploded. How did a rainstorm sabotage a royal army and lead to the capture of a king? Why did a nobleman switch sides mid-battle just to settle a land dispute? What made a rebel leader believe a lump of cheese could protect him from execution? And what happens when a king falls in love with a commoner, marries her in secret, and sparks a rebellion that shakes the throne? From the thunder of the Battle of Northampton to the chaos of the Midlands Revolt and the epic clash at Naseby, this isn't just history. It's a blockbuster waiting to be told. We've got betrayal, forbidden love, cannon fire, peasant uprisings, and even a regiment that deserted London to march home to Scotland. So if you thought English history was all dusty scrolls and polite tea parties, think again. This is the story of how one county became the beating heart of rebellion, revolution, and royal drama. Long before Northampton was a town, it was a strategic node in Roman Britain. Two major Roman roads, Watling Street in the south and the North Road from Dustin to Banaventa, cut through the region like arteries of empire. These roads connected military forts, trade hubs, and settlements. The Nene Valley, rich in Roman pillars and ruins, was dotted with fortified towns like Durobreve near Water Newton and Lac to Durham, now Towcester. Outside modern Northampton, settlements at Dustin and Towcester, Towcester, suggest Roman presence. Coins found at Mayfair and the castle site hint at a Roman crossroads near the Horse Market and Dogberry Junction, though no major structures have been unearthed. Still, the whispers of empire linger in the soil. Around AD 60 to 61, the warrior Queen Boudica led a fiery revolt against Roman rule. Her final battle is shrouded in mystery, but Northamptonshire is one of the proposed sites. Some point to Castle Mound near Towcester, others to Churchstowe, and legends even claim she was buried in Whittlewood Forest. Whether myth or memory, the land still echoes with her defiance. By the 9th century, the great heathen army, led by Ivor the Boneless and his brother Ubba, swept south. They ravaged Peterborough, and a young boy was reportedly kept as a pet, a chilling reminder of Viking cruelty. In response, the ancient hill fort at Burrow Hill near Daventry was reactivated. A Saxon charter from the 10th century calls it a burh, and Viking weapons and graves have been found there. After the Treaty of Wedmore, Northampton became a fortified Viking frontier town, complete with ramparts and a ditch. The borough's walls stretched 3,000 feet, with its center near the modern Saul Central Crossroads. A massive timber hall was replaced by a stone structure, 43.5 meters long, 11.5 meters wide, with 1.2 meter thick walls, now buried beneath modern buildings. In 941, Olaf Guthfrithson, son of the King of Dublin, crossed the River Welland and attacked Northampton. Olaf, a fierce Hiberno-Norse warlord, had ruled Dublin and briefly York. His raid was repelled, but in 1010, the Danes returned. Thorkel the Tall burned Northampton and took spoils aplenty. Now, before we dive into the rebellion that followed Edward IV's secret marriage, let's talk about something that matters just as much as royal strategy: your memory. If you've ever found yourself forgetting names, misplacing things, or struggling to stay focused while watching a deep historical story like this, you're not alone. That's why I want to share something that's helped countless people stay mentally sharp and engaged. Ginkgo biloba. This ancient herbal extract improves blood flow to the brain, helping with mental clarity, focus, and short-term memory. Lion's mane mushroom, a powerful nootropic known to stimulate nerve growth factor, NGF, which supports brain cell regeneration, cognitive function, and even mood stability. Together, they're like the new model army for your brain: strategic, powerful, and built to win the battle against forgetfulness. Whether you're trying to remember the twists of the Battle of Northampton or just want to stay sharp in everyday life, these natural supplements could be your secret weapon. I've placed a link in my bio below where you can check them out on Amazon. And yes, we do earn a small commission for every purchase made through that link, which helps us keep creating more epic content like this. So if you appreciate the stories and want to support the channel while boosting your brain, this is a win-win. Because history isn't just about the past, it's about staying sharp enough to understand it. Want to boost your memory and stay sharp while enjoying deep dives into history? Check out ginkgo biloba and lion's mane, two natural supplements that support brain health, focus, and recall. Find them on Amazon here. We earn a small commission for purchases made through this link. Thank you for supporting the channel. In 1065, just before the Norman conquest, Morcar, Earl of Northumbria, led a rebellion and burned Northampton. His army took hundreds of prisoners, leaving the Shire devastated. The Domesday Book later recorded 900 hides, a third of the county, as waste. By 1106, Henry Thirst and his brother Robert clashed at Northampton Castle. During the anarchy, King Stephen frequently stayed there. In 1173, his sons Henry and Richard rebelled, supported by French counts and English barons. King William of Scotland joined the revolt, seeking Northumberland. He was captured at Alnwick, ending his rebellion. King John, infamous for tyranny, loved Northampton. He spent over 60 days there and gave the town a mayoral charter in 1215. But when the barons rebelled, they met at Stamford, then marched to Northampton, laying siege to the castle. Though they failed, they later forced John to seal the Magna Carta at Runnymede. The town's role in this pivotal moment is often overlooked, but it was central to the drama. Now pause for a sec. Join the front lines of history and power. Welcome to European Battle, where epic clashes, legendary warriors, and untold stories come alive. By subscribing and turning on notifications, you're not just joining a channel. You're stepping into a world of thrilling battles, strategic brilliance, and jaw-dropping historical drama. From ancient empires to modern warfare, we deliver cinematic storytelling, expert insights, and exclusive content that will leave you breathless. Why subscribe? Unlock premium battle breakdowns and rare historical footage. Be the first to witness new episodes and live events. Join a passionate community of history lovers and strategy minds. Fuel your curiosity with facts, theories, and fierce debates. Don't just watch history, live it. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications to never miss a moment of the action. Your front row seat to Europe's greatest battles is just one click away. European Battle, where legends clash. By 1202, Northampton wasn't just a sleepy market town. It was one of 11 towns that paid King John for the right to buy and sell dyed cloth. And oh, did it dye well. With over 300 cloth workers, it earned a reputation for fulling and dyeing so fine, even the king's underpants might have been locally sourced. The town also traded in corn and horses, giving rise to street names like Horse Market and Mayfair, because nothing says prestige like naming a road after your best-selling stallion. On the 17th of February 1215, while hunting boar at Silverstone, because nothing says diplomacy like chasing pigs, King John declared William Thilly as the mayor of Northampton, one of the first mayors in England. It was a clever move. John, sensing rebellion brewing like a bad stew, wanted Northampton on his side, but the barons weren't buying it. During Easter week, 19 to 26th of April 1215, 5 earls and 40 barons gathered at Stamford Tournament Ground near Peterborough. They didn't come for jousting. They came with 2,000 knights, foot soldiers, and enough steel to make a blacksmith weep with joy. They marched to Northampton, expecting to meet John, but the king was in Wiltshire, probably still sulking. So they marched to Brackley, where John sent William Marshall and Archbishop Stephen Langton to collect their demands. The barons handed over a list of ancient laws and customs, what would become the Magna Carta. John, ever the drama king, reportedly shouted, "Why don't they just ask for my kingdom at once?" Then he threw a royal tantrum and refused. The barons, not ones to take rejection lightly, renounced their fealty, marched back to Northampton, and laid siege to the castle. The townsfolk joined in, killing several garrison soldiers. In retaliation, the garrison charged into the town, killing civilians and setting houses ablaze. It was medieval mayhem. Eventually, John caved and agreed to the Magna Carta at Runnymede on the 15th of June 1215. But peace was short-lived. On the 21st of September 1216, John marched from Stamford to Rockingham, then burned Oundle and the manors of Peterborough Abbey. He even tried to burn Crowland Abbey, but his captains took bribes instead. One account claims John set fields on fire himself, in a fit of rage. Within a month, he was dead, possibly from dysentery, definitely from karma. His son, Henry III, became king, and the war ended with the Treaty of Lambeth in 1217, where Louis of France renounced his claim to the English throne and left with 10,000 marks, a golden consolation prize. But peace? Not so fast. In 1219, William de Forbes, Earl of Albemarle, refused to surrender Rockingham Castle. In 1224, Northampton was ordered to take it by force. Then, in a frosty January, William de Forbes seized Fotheringhay Castle, attacking across a frozen moat, setting fire to the doors, and killing 2 soldiers. The king summoned all his magnates to Northampton. They retook the castle, and de Forbes fled, only to be excommunicated by a papal legate and 10 bishops, a medieval version of getting blocked by everyone on social media. In June 1224, William de Beauchamp seized land and kidnapped Justice Henry de Braybrook, tossing him into a dungeon at Bedford. His wife ran to the king, who was conveniently in Northampton, and the king marched on Bedford Castle. On the 15th of August, after every siege trick in the book, the castle fell. All 80 surviving members of the garrison were hanged, and the castle was destroyed. Beauchamp was exiled, proving that even in medieval times, bad landlords got what was coming. Fast forward to 1264, and Northampton was once again a battleground. Simon de Montfort the Younger held the town, which had become the 3rd university in England. Students joined the rebellion, because nothing says student activism like storming castles. King Henry III attacked from the south, while Prince Edward flanked from the northwest. The Royalists breached the town through St. Andrew's Priory, possibly aided by treacherous monks. Simon was captured, the town was burned, and the university was shut down by royal decree, a medieval version of campus cancellation. Forget the romantic name Wars of the Roses. That was a Victorian invention. In reality, it was a messy, bloody, decades-long family feud between the House of Lancaster, Red Rose, and the House of York, White Rose, both descended from Edward III, and both convinced they should wear the crown. On the 10th of July 1460, the Yorkists, led by Richard Neville the Kingmaker and Edward, Earl of March, marched into Northampton with cannons, ambition, and a chip on their shoulder. The Lancastrians loyal to King Henry VI had fortified themselves near Delapré Abbey, surrounded by watercourses and artillery. But nature had other plans. A sudden rainstorm rendered the Lancastrian cannons useless, and then came the twist. Lord Grey of Ruthin, commanding the left flank, switched sides mid-battle, letting the Yorkists stroll into camp like they owned the place. Why? Because Warwick promised to help him settle a property dispute. Yes, this battle turned on a real estate deal. The result? Thousands dead, King Henry VI captured, and the first mass use of cannons in English warfare. One of those cannons found on the battlefield is the oldest known in England. After the dust settled, Edward IV became king, and then he did something no one expected. He married for love. In 1464, Edward secretly wed Elizabeth Woodville, a beautiful widow from Grafton, Northamptonshire, with 2 sons and no dowry. She was a Lancastrian. She was not royalty. She was everything a king shouldn't marry. And Edward did it anyway, possibly under an oak tree now known as the Queen's Oak. Their union sparked outrage and led to the Kingmaker's Rebellion, culminating in the Battle of Edgecote, 1469, where rebel forces defeated the royal army. William Herbert, Earl of Pembroke, was captured and executed in Northampton, right next to the Queen. By the late 1500s, sheep were winning. Landowners enclosed common fields to graze flocks, evicting villagers and destroying farms. Over 27,000 acres were enclosed, displacing 1,500 people across 18 villages. In 1607, the people had had enough. Led by a tinker named Captain Pouch, real name John Reynolds, over 1,000 men and women began digging up hedges and leveling enclosures in Newton, near Kettering. Captain Pouch claimed he had a magical item in his pouch that would protect them. Spoiler, it was green cheese. On the 8th of June, the gentry charged with horse and foot. The crowd fought back, but eventually broke. 40 to 50 were killed, and many more imprisoned. Captain Pouch was hanged, drawn, and quartered, and the rebellion was crushed. Northampton was a parliamentarian stronghold. The town was refortified with bastions and ditches, and the name the Mounts comes from where they mounted their cannons. In 1645, the Royalists took Leicester, then camped at Daventry, raiding farms and stealing livestock. The new model army, led by Fairfax and Cromwell, moved north. On the 14th of June, they met at Naseby, just over the county border. The battle was brutal. 12,000 parliamentarians faced 8,000 royalists. The royalists initially held the upper hand, but Cromwell's cavalry turned the tide. 5,000 royalists were captured and 1,000 killed. King Charles lost his infantry, artillery, and hope. From Roman crossroads to cannon-blasted battlefields, Northampton has seen it all. It's where kings were captured, queens were courted, and peasants fought for their land. It's a town that never sat quietly in history's shadow. It stood at the center of it. Enjoyed this journey through rebellion, romance, and royal intrigue? Then, don't miss out on what's coming next. We've got even more untold tales and dramatic twists from history that will keep you hooked. Follow us for more captivating content. Subscribe to our channel so you never miss a story. Click the notification bell to get instantly alerted whenever we drop another episode of historical drama, mystery, and adventure. Your support helps us keep digging up the past and bringing it vividly to life. So go ahead, join the story, and let history surprise you.